When this country's boys and girls turn 16, they receive a notification of who their future spouse will be. Those who do not marry their assigned partners suffer severe penalties, and romance with anyone besides your selected mate is forbidden. Because of this policy, the birth rate is stabilized and the children born of such matches have higher average intelligence. The story begins when our protagonist called Neji is staring at a girl in class. Her name is Misaki, and we come to discover that Neji has been secretly in love with her for 5 years. A few moments later, a classmate of Neji's reveals that he just got his notification yesterday. However, he says he wants to fall in love and that he would never marry someone the government picked for him. Neji agrees and they all make a pact to never get married. When Neji arrives home, he declares that all he wants is to be in love with Misaki, and begins having flashbacks of when they were younger. While eating dinner, Neji's mom reminds him that his birthday is in a couple of days and is excited for him to get his notification. However, Neji is dreading the day as he doesn't want to fall in love with anyone else but Misaki. He decides that he has to tell her how he feels before he gets his partner notification. So the following day at school, he approaches her, but the words he wants to say won't come out. However, while she's walking away, he musters up the courage to ask her to meet him after school. While Neji is waiting, he gets the feeling Misaki won't show, but just as he's about to leave, she runs up behind him and grabs his shirt. She apologizes for being late and they sit down on a bench together, where Neji eventually confesses his feelings for her. Misaki begins to cry and reveals that she has liked him all this time too, which comes as a huge surprise to Neji. But nevertheless, he is over the moon and they share a kiss. A few moments later, the clock hits 12 and Neji receives his government notification stating that his partner in marriage has been decided. Misaki gets upset and runs away. However, Neji chases after her, refusing to let her go as she's the love of his life. The following day, Neji meets his assigned partner, who is a girl called Sanada. Neji gets nervous as he finds her to be very attractive, and the two families get to know each other. However, while everyone is talking, Neji is in a world of his own thinking about Misaki. Sanada angrily ridicules him for having no manners, and leaves as Neji isn't paying any attention to her. A few moments later, Neji finds her in a room all by herself and apologizes for being so rude. She accepts his apology and they chat for a while. Neji tells Sanada all about Misaki, and she surprisingly offers to help him figure things out with her. They then agree to go back, holding hands in order to fool their parents into thinking they're together. The next day at school, Neji's classmates tell him how lucky he is to get such a cute partner, which reminds him that he agreed to meet her soon. He finds Sanada in the nurse's office, where she reveals that she doesn't fit in with other girls and is faking being sick to miss class. Neji admits that he's always had a hard time talking to girls, but says with you it's easy, making her blush. After school, Sanada introduces herself to Misaki. They go to a fast food joint where Sanada reveals that she doesn't like Neji and goes on to ask Misaki how she feels about him. Misaki confesses her feelings for Neji, which makes Sanada say it must be wonderful to fall in love with someone. After they leave, Misaki asks Sanada if she would like to meet again, which ends up making her cry as she never had any friends before. A few moments later, Neji lets it slip that he kissed Misaki, but explains that it was before he received his notice. Although, to his surprise, Sanada tells him to kiss Misaki again. The next day, Neji goes to Sanada's house and is astonished to see Misaki in her room. Sanada gives them her blessing to kiss, but just before their lips connect, Neji pulls back as he can't bring himself to do it. Before Misaki leaves, she tells Sanada that she wants her to fall in love with Neji, as she's probably not the right girl for him, which comes as a shock to Sanada since Misaki is in love with him. Sanada goes back to her room and tells Neji he must kiss Misaki once a day, which leaves him dumbfounded. At school, Neji wonders if something is going on with Misaki and his classmate Nausicaa after noticing them looking at each other strangely. Later, Neji finds Misaki to ask her about Nausicaa. However, a teacher comes and Neji pulls her out the way so they are close to each other. Neji thinks about the consequences for being intimate with someone other than his designated partner, but finds it hard to mask his true feelings, and they end up kissing. The following day, two people who work for the government go to check on Neji and Sanada's relationship. The woman explains that up to 50% of your personality is determined by your genes, and that all the surveys and tests they undergo determine who their assigned partner will be. So the trick is to select a partner at the age of 16 before their personality is fully developed. After interviewing Neji and Sanada, they inform them that they're going to Misaki's house next. Neji is afraid she got her marriage notice. But Sanada tells him not to give up just yet. At school, Neji asks Misaki if she has her assigned partner yet. She says yes. And on top of that, they're living together. However, she turns out to be joking with him and explains that the government people only had business with her parents, which Neji is relieved to hear. Misaki then tells Neji that he's the only person who will ever be special to her, and the rest will all be the same no matter who they are, and they share a heartwarming kiss. While Neji is getting ready for bed, he gets a call from Sanada. She tells him they're going on a camping trip and Misaki is going too. So Neji invites Nausicaa to go along with him as he doesn't know how he'll handle both girls by himself. The day arrives and they all take the train together. When they get to the lodge, Nausicaa starts preparing food. Meanwhile, Neji goes to check on the girls who are having fun at the lake in their swimsuits. A few moments. Sanada slips on a rock and injures herself, so Neji kindly carries her back to the lodge where her father treats her injury. Later, Nausicaa tells Sanada that Neji is heading for disaster if she continues to let him get closer to Misaki because of the repercussions from the government. A few days go by and the government call in the new couples to come in for a making love class. They pass rubbers to everyone and show a demonstration of making love. The teacher goes on to say that before language was mastered, making love was the most primitive of communication tools. She then goes on to say that everybody is tasked to make love and the couples who don't will be penalized. When the time comes, Neji comes up with a plan to pretend to do it, which ends up being extremely awkward and weird. After that, Sanada tells Neji that she's scared to have him touch her and wants him to keep his distance for a while, as she isn't feeling like herself. On the other hand, Masaki admits to herself that she hates seeing Neji with Sanada, but doesn't want to say anything as she's afraid that they might realize they're in love. The next day it is announced there is going to be a school play. They will be doing Romeo and Juliet with Nausicaa and Misaki playing the main roles. Neji offers to help Misaki with her lines. And while they're walking together, she asks Neji if he's in love with Sanada. He says no and goes on to say, "I'm in love with you." Misaki has a moment and tells Ned she's thinking about ending it all. To which Neji responds, "Why?" And she goes on to say, "Because I'm not your assigned partner," explaining that she falls in love with him more and more every day, even though she knows there's no hope for them. The day of the festival arrives and Sanada came all the way to see the play, which ends up going amazing. After, Ned is approached by a mysterious girl, who all in all reveals to him that Misaki is his true destined partner. Neji then notices Sanada standing close by with a shocked look on her face as she happened to hear everything. She asks him if their pairing was a mistake, to which Neji says no, as he doesn't want to hurt her feelings. A while later they find Misaki and tell her how good she was in the play. Nausicaa comes along and informs Neji that he needs him to fill his cousin's place at a wedding, and to think of it as paying him back for the camping trip. Neji agrees to go along with him, and when the day comes, Sanada and Misaki join them too. After the ceremony, Neji finds Misaki crying alone. She pours her heart out saying, "I don't care if it's a lie, tell me you love me," making Neji lose control and kiss her. At night, Sanada tells Neji that he should choose to marry Misaki, and explains that their love changed her life drastically for the better, as now she has more friends. She also informs Neji that she found a way to get out of a match peacefully. All they would have to do is lie to their ministry person and tell them that they aren't getting along, that a match between them would never work. The next day, Neji tells Nausicaa that he doesn't know what to do, as he loves both Misaki and Sanada. Nausicaa tells him that if he really loved them, he can make them both happy, and so he sprints off to find the girls. Meanwhile, Misaki and Sanada are getting ready for a bridal shoot. While they're taking pictures, Neji bursts through the doors and confesses his love for them both. And there, they decide to love and lie for each other in order to keep everyone happy. And the anime ends here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. And I'll see you at the next one.